does. Our kind of broad motto is actual productive political solutions by youth. So all of the events that we conduct fall under that motto. Like if they don't fulfill that motto, then we don't do them. And we think that this event will fulfill that motto, and that's why we are so appreciative for the opportunity. Secondly, so obviously this is the only forum we posted that isn't the same style as a debate. Debates are for the public so that we can inform the voters and so that they'll be better informed when they go out to vote, whereas in this case the public is not going to have a vote on who gets the seat. But we still want them to be informed and know as much as they possibly can about who's going to be filling the seat. For the time frame, it's a little rough for us because we've never done anything like this, and it's completely innovative, completely new. We've had to come up with an idea from scratch for this forum. So there's a lot of research that's involved, a lot of logistics, a lot of things we've never had to deal with before, and because it's on such a short time frame, it's a little bit difficult for us. There will probably be some obstacles along the way that we might need your help with, and they may be unforeseen, that might come up kind of randomly. But if you could just work with us as much as possible, that would be great. So as far as questions we have for you, as far as the call-out goes, you said that we could use the school reach system.
Yes.
But what's the procedure for that? Like, who do we need to get in contact with?
So I would start with your principal secretary, because typically that is typically who has access to it. So your principal will, but I would start with your principal secretary.
Okay.
And just tell them you're looking for the mess. And we're actually, so depending on when you do that call out, we're in the process right now of switching providers. So the current provider, it goes through this month, the 31st, and then November 1st, we start with the first one. But either way, you have access to it. It's a working system. And so if there's any hiccup, getting access through your front office, just let me know. Because I can give you access. Basically what the system is you put in the call-in number, and it will call you. So even if I do it from my office, the central office, I put in whatever number you guys want, and it rings, and then you just record your message. So, but you should have no trouble getting access here at your school. That should not be it. And what it does is, it's whomever you want to send it to, but let's say you just wanted to do Coronado feeder pattern, you can do that. You would click, and that's who your campus would have access to. So.
Okay. Is there going to be an issue with students recording the message?
I don't have any problem with that at all. So again, I will talk with Ms. Henderson to make sure that they know that it's been cleared by me. She knows I'm meeting with you today, and that you all are organizing and helping us with this. So she's fully aware and on board. So I don't have a problem with you guys recording.
Okay. For logistics, as far as the tech goes, would you be willing to pay for the services? I know we have an email with the different prices for like tech people, or alternatively, we could have students or tech students take care of the sound with supervision of an adult, if that would be cleared by the central office.
So what has been the process in the past when we have hosted forums?
Generally, we've hired people for each.
Okay. Which is fine. I want to, I'm really going to leave it to you. You all make a recommendation to me. If you give me some cost estimate, certainly we can cover that. If that is your procedure that you guys hire out for sound, we can do that. Again, I want to honor whatever procedures you guys have in place, because we are giving this to you with our support, and really it's just the operation support you guys. So if your procedures have been in the past to hire out sound, we can do that.
I think in this particular instance, we were kind of leaning towards having students do it, just because that's giving them experience, and you don't have to pay them, and it's better because this is a student-run organization, so we do everything through students. It's more efficient.
Again, really whatever you all want to recommend to do, I will support you.
Alrighty. As far as the stage goes, we were considering lowering part of the stage for the mediators, or just in general, because that's what we usually do when we host debates here. Would there be someone around who could put it up for us, take it down, that kind of thing?
So y'all would need to coordinate that with campus here. So
Okay.
again, the same procedures you would use to do that, and then would ask you to do that, you know, with the campus here, putting in the request on, I didn't even know you could lower the stage, honestly. So however that works for you guys who, you know, again, work with whoever your facilities person is to get that done. If you need an approval from central office, then just let me know, we can certainly get involved there. So, again, whatever your processes have been there, just let me know, and if I need to make a call to make sure that you guys get the support, then I can do that. But I would ask you guys to start here on whomever that person does it now, when requests are made like that.
And then as far as like reaching out to the public through ways other than the call, if we were to design a flyer, just like a one-page flyer, could you print it in mass for us?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And then also, do you know how many applicants do we have thus far?
I don't know. I know that I did check last week and there weren't any, but I was told that's not unusual or uncommon, because typically most people will wait to like the last day, just because they don't want that scrutiny perhaps, or that they don't want to go public yet, right? So I was told it's not unusual to not have any submissions at this point. And I know that there are people, working and talking to people like that, but as far as actual applicants, as of last week, we had 0.
The reason we ask is just for logistical purposes and getting enough, like, say, microphones or just
Yes.
equipment in general. So do you have any idea how many there might be, or when you might know a better idea?
The deadline is the 16th of this month, so what is that, Monday?
Yes.
So we'll know Monday, so 4:30 PM, close of business, is when the deadline is, so we'll know by 5 PM on Monday. I will be out of town, but I can certainly still get that to you. I can ask the board operations manager to let me know, so that you guys can begin contact.
Also, would it be possible, I know this is kind of asking a lot, but, and tomorrow's Friday, but if you have any, like, applicants by tomorrow, if you could update us, because
Sure.
not only logistically, but we have a team making questions and their research and that kind of thing. We're trying to get those questions developed by Monday,
Okay.
and that the number of questions is kind of dependent on the number of applicants,
Right.
so.
So I will ask in the morning, and so I'll email you tomorrow, and so that you can know if there are any. But I honestly don't think there are yet.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, I guess from there, can we just explain the general forum
Yes.
style that we were thinking?
And just to a point you made earlier, while the public doesn't get to vote this time, our purpose, certainly we want to inform the public of the applicants and the opportunities. So, you know, I want you to definitely treat it as you would your forums, because it is an opportunity for the community to know, and they will have time to give the trustees feedback. So essentially, they do have an opportunity to make their voice or opinion known that way. Because it will be about 3 weeks' time from your forum to the appointment that's made. The appointment will be at the November 16th board meeting. And so there's, you know, like I said, there's about 3 weeks there, and definitely plenty of time. We want people to come and engage and hear, so that they can also give an opinion, give feedback to the trustees on who they should appoint.
That being said, a big part of our research is what the exact responsibilities of a board member, as defined by EPISD, as defined by the state, as defined by on a national level, what they would be. So what we're trying to do is give the public an understanding of what those responsibilities are, because the board already knows, but the public
Right.
might not know
Absolutely.
quite as in depth.
This is Sonia Villa.
Sorry, I was caught in what you guys call going home.
Hi, I'm Connor Crowley.
Trina Fador.
Liliana Flores.
Nicole Poisson.
Jackson.
Nice to meet you guys.
Okay, but to go back to that, so I'm sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought.
What a board member does.
Yes, so we were going to develop questions based on that, and also based on leadership and what it means to be a leader in that position, as well as what it means to be a leader as a student, so that we can have the broadest understanding as possible. Our idea was to have the board members ask the questions that we generate to the applicants. And then before the forum, we were gonna have the board members themselves answer these same questions so that we can compare their answers after the applicant's we can compare the two answers to see how compatible these applicants would be to the board.
So you would like all trustees to be present as well?
Yes.
Okay, and would they all be on stage?
Yes.
So, just if I'm clear, you said, if I'm a current trustee, you're an applicant, I would be asking you the question?
Yes, and we would have a student mediator up there saying, can representative from District 1 please ask a question?
Okay,
And
but
then
they'll have the list of
Yes,
questions.
they'll have a list of questions pre-developed.
From that, the student mediator also will be kind of moderating in the sense of just asking for a little more clarity where clarity's due. Nothing intense, but just someone there to keep things running smoothly.
Okay.
And before the forum is hosted, we would have all of the trustees come in and answer these questions themselves so that those answers could be compared after the forum.
Okay, and would you discuss those in the forum? Would you reveal their answers, or?
Yes.
Like, again, I'm trustee Bird,
Mhm.
and I have answered your question prior to arriving. Am I gonna give my answer myself, or are you gonna read my answer?
The way that it would work is that we would post it on our website or just anywhere that the public could see it so that they could compare the answer they hear from the applicants to the answer of the board member. So we would have all of the board members come in. I'm sure they couldn't all come in at the same time, but come in and answer the questions individually, and then
You want them answered in person?
yes.
Okay. So that might be difficult, okay, and that, that might be tricky. I'll be honest with you, it might be difficult for you to get them all in beforehand. It might be easier if you were to email them the questions and ask for those responses.
It's not gonna be very long, and they can come in really whenever is convenient for them.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen. We'll make sure someone's here. So whenever is convenient for them, if we could get them here in person, we'd really prefer that. So, I mean, we could work with them on their availability and find a time if it's not.
It might be easier for you all to go to them, like if you guys came to the central office at like the next board meeting, do it there maybe. I know it's short notice, but I'm just letting you know, that might be tricky. And the other thing is, while we have informed them that we're working with you all, I don't know that they have the expectation that they're all expected to be there at a forum, right? I think it's particularly, if I'm the Northeast representative, while they're gonna have input, I don't know what their discussions have been, so I can certainly relay that to them, that they're invited. But what's plan B if you don't get all of them?
Well, I think on our part, we think it's kind of crucial that they come and that they participate because that's showing that there's continuity within the board themselves for all coming and participating, and also that there's going to be some like tangible way that the public can see
Right.
both the opinions of the board and the opinions of the applicants so that they can make that comparison themselves. So it's kind of a crucial part of our plan that they participate.
Understood. What if they can't or don't? I just want you to be aware and just think of that, because you could get all six and for sure you'll have the board president, for sure. Yeah, but I did, again, what happened? What are your thoughts if you don't get all six here?
I mean, we can, you said we would have the board president, so in worst case, we still want to do that forum, or that kind of format.
Okay.
We could have the president do it, or we could just have the students read it, although I think it would be a lot more beneficial in general, both to the public, just as a means of accountability and transparency, clarity of what the board does and what the applicants are planning to do if the actual board was there. So we are hoping for sure that we get most or all of the board, but I mean, we do have alternatives. They're just definitely not not as valuable in our opinion.
And I will certainly reiterate that, or relay that tomorrow morning so that we can get that. I have provided them with the 2 dates. First of all, did y'all decide on a date, 24th or 25th?
We were looking at the 25th.
25th, okay. Now I know, I think, do y'all have parent-teacher conferences that day?
Yes.
Does that matter?
We think it might actually even be better.
I agree, I saw it on the calendar, I got nervous, but then I won't.
Because it's a
you guys are
very easy
thinking 6 p.m.,
reminder
right?
also.
And they'll be here.
We can get some parents to come out and watch this.
Okay, I agree, I just wanted us to all be on the same page. So I told them that we were looking at 24th or 25th, so I can confirm 25th with them tomorrow and relay to them that you would like them all to be present and that you have questions for them as well. And so that they can be ready, and at least then we can know sooner than later how many of them are available for that day.
I think that's about all we had as far as questions for you, and that's our general layout. Is there any questions you have for us?
No, I think that's a great format. That's great. That's something definitely very innovative and different. I think their vision, as was mine, was just what we've done in the past. They're expecting that you all would be the ones asking questions and moderating. So I think this is definitely something different. I like it. I think it's a great opportunity for even the community to understand what the current seated members do. And you're absolutely right that the community doesn't fully understand what a trustee does or is responsible for. It's a very narrow scope of work actually for a board member. You know, they oversee the superintendent and policy and budget. Those are really their big buckets. And that's something very unique. So you do want something, I think we're in a position right now where we have a very well-rounded board that have expertise in finance, have expertise in working in nonprofit organizations, have been executives in companies and tech, we have former teachers, former military. It really is a great well-rounded group, and you really do need that kind of skill set because if you think about it, this is a board that they're responsible for the budget. They're responsible for a $500 million budget. It's significant, as well as policy, making sure that we're staying true to law, they're setting those policies, they're setting those guidelines for regulations for the district. But they don't get involved in hiring, they don't get involved with anything like that. And even classrooms, if you look at that, they don't get involved in instruction as far as in the classroom, which you guys do, other than approving the budgets, the contracts for those things, right? They're responsible for providing compensation packages. Your teachers get raises, they're the ones to approve them, all of that. And now obviously the bond and the thing. So that's one thing I would ask you, I would recommend that you definitely put that in, considering Coronado has such a significant piece of the bond. That's important, and Coronado feeder pattern for that matter. That's important that they understand the bond and workings and the timeline and all of that. I think that'll be a good one that we need to focus on as well. But other than that, I was just here to execute your ideas, help you execute them, and help on my end. We can get everybody on board. If you give me those estimates of any costs that you might need, we can certainly, I can speak to the board operations manager so we can cover those for you. If the students manage the tech, do we need to pay students or? Mr. Orland,
The
pay
students
for
in
your
the
time?
past, the students, it's almost all volunteer. It's part of what they do is all, helping with various things with the students.
And does Coronado have all of the audio equipment? Do you need to rent audio equipment?
We have audio equipment, mics. The only issue is just the number that we have to get because, from various things going on.
Now, have you thought about live streaming it or anything like that for those that aren't able to come?
I know we can. We've done that in the past, and so I think absolutely we can. In the past, we've worked with the El Paso Times to live stream it. Perhaps that we do that again, or stream it from our own page or our Facebook page. Yeah.
Or we could do it.
Yeah,
We have
you
a
guys,
TV
exactly.
studio. We can certainly live stream it for you as well. We can
Yeah.
do that. But if you wanna work with the Times, gives us another layer of publicity, community outreach, that's okay too. I mean, again, but whatever it is, I think it's just another opportunity. We know, and as you do, it's hard to get people to come to meetings, especially come in person, but we know if we do something live stream, we get a much bigger, even if they view it later, right? It's an opportunity to get it out there. We'll have our cameras here. Do you want to handle your own media? Do you want us to help you with that?
I think we can handle it.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the offer.
So we can, if you want to do that, just let us know how we can help you with that and getting the word out. Anything you want to put on our internal, our district sites, let me know. We can do that. Take advantage of our TV studio. We do have a state-of-the-art studio and cameras and equipment. So if you guys want to come in and record commercial, record anything like that, you're welcome to it. Just let us know. We can set it up. It is at central office. But we're happy to let you guys use that and give that as another tool.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll probably be in contact with you fairly constantly.
That's okay. Yes.
But if we have any other questions or any problems arise, well, we should let you know.
All right, so what are our next steps? Wait to hear from you? You'll tell me when? Do we need to meet again?
Yes, if we need to meet again, I will definitely let you know. I think from here, we have a logistics team, we have a team making questions, we can handle media. I think from here, we can probably do the rest, but like I said, if anything arises unexpectedly, I'll be sure to let you know.
So I will email you Monday at the latest so that you know what the applicant situation is. And then we'll go from there. And then if there's any other logistic things, have you secured the auditorium already? Okay, so that's not an issue. So that's done. If you get your flyer to me, just let me know and we can print them out for you. And then we can just send them through the school mail so you don't even have to worry about picking them up or anything like that. We can just send them to you, just tell me how many you want. And we can again, if you want us to design it for you, we can do that. Great graphic artists, but you just send us the design and how many you want printed, we can do that. Any posters or anything, if you want that too, we can do that. As well. And so as far as school messenger, just ask again, check with the principal secretary on how school messenger is the current provider for the mass notification. Just ask them if you can have access to it, and I'll let Ms. Henderson know that we'll make that request, we're okay granting you that access. And so that you can start sending these out.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question for
Yes.
you, because I just need the clarity. Is there any way that this group can email directly the board members?
Yes.
Instead of you just asking, you can drop a bug in their ear, but it would be nice if they sent an invite saying, because it may have more effect if it comes
Yes.
from them than if it comes from you.
Yes, you absolutely can.
And can you get us addresses that we can reach them at? Because sometimes they send them to the things that are on the website and it bounces back saying due to the overload.
So you shouldn't have, so their websites are all, their email addresses are all listed on the website. Is their district, and that's the one to use there. So you are, as students, don't fall under the same protocols and procedures as staff does. So we as staff do have to follow the, protocols and we go through the board operations manual. Even if I need to reach a board member, that's just our policy. And it is in policy that we contact the board operations manager and she relays a message or whatever, unless we're contacted directly by a trustee. You all don't. You as students, you guys are external stakeholders essentially. You get to, they are your representative. So you would email them as you would your city council rep or council. They are your elected representative. So you definitely have direct access to them. I'll give them a heads up so that they know what that email means when they see it and will not be caught off guard. But absolutely, you guys can email. If you do have any trouble or you don't get a response, then let me know, because then again I'll have the board operations manager let them know that to look out for, check your email again, please respond. But if you use their district email, they're pretty good about checking it and responding very quickly. And if, like I said, they're all, if you go to the board page and click on the trustees, they're all there with their pictures, district, and email addresses. So it shouldn't get kicked back for any reason.
Okay.
But if it does, just let me know.
Should they also email the same email to, who is the person that we have to contact if we?
Liz Carrasco, Elizabeth Carrasco is the board operations manager.
Should they also send that email to them
It's
too?
always a good idea to email her, to copy her, because again, she'll make sure to put it in the board communication. She has to send, weekly communications to them, so it's always a good idea. I always, like I said, if I have to send something, I'll copy her, because then she can follow up for you, and she'll be aware. So Elizabeth Carrasco is Carol's. You don't have to, but it's just a good. She's got a funky email, so let me back to her. Okay, it's excarra1@epic.org.
Okay.
So it's Cara1. And I did forward Ileana your email to her and to let her know that you would be, so she knows, she has the we email address, and your communication, your name, so, she knows that we're meeting today, so she'll know what that's about. But if you email her or email the trustees and just copy her, it just gives you another layer for her to remind them. You don't have to, it's just, she'll help you out. Thank you.
And the next question I have, and I thank you for answering that question. The next question I have regarding us contacting the applicants. Is there a way that we can get their contact information, their email, and perhaps a phone number we can reach them at?
Absolutely. As soon as we get those applicants, again, they're public record. And so I think they actually, since they've been out, I know in the past, they've actually been uploaded to the website for transparency purposes. I'm not sure about this round. But yeah, I can get you those contacts for sure.
And when does it officially close? Does it close at 4:30 Monday?
4:30.
So Tuesday morning, we should have all the applicants in hand.
Yeah, 5 o'clock on Monday, I can tell you, hey, we have 3 applicants, we have 5 applicants, we have 50. And by Tuesday, I can get you copies. So I'll have Sonia get those to you because I won't be back into the office till Wednesday. So I'll make sure Sonia has your email and information so that she can
Get
get
her.
those to you.
I can actually get you a business card.
There's one by the bird.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Would you like some?
Yes, thank you. All right. Yes, definitely, so we'll know. And then, there's always the possibility, I don't know what the plan B is if they don't get any applicants. But that's always,
If they only get one applicant, are they still gonna want us to do this?
that's a great question, I don't know. I don't know.
Because, at least according to El Paso Inc., because we found out it before we found out it from your email, we found out it by reading El Paso Inc. It was the board president, Mr. Trent, that said he wanted to have all this transparency.
Yes.
And he basically volunteered us to do this,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of. I mean, he was a little more political than that, but, yeah.
Um,
So, I assume he'll do anything for us that we want him to do
Yes.
for us.
Yeah, they actually discussed it openly at that board meeting, and that's where you all came up the first time, and they said, we really would love taking new students, we can.
Is that online, the record? Is there an audio online that they can listen to it so they can hear the comments
Yes.
made by them?
So go to, again, that same board tab, the board section on the homepage, all the videos get archived there. And that was the September meeting. So look for the September meeting, and you'll be able to read that on.
In what section, do you remember what because those board meetings are long,
They're
you're not,
long.
you don't
It
wanna
would
listen
be,
to the whole thing, I
It would
see.
have been toward the end.
All right.
Because it's where they're, and if you look at the agenda, the accompanying agenda, there's 2 items, and one is where they are accepting the resignation of Ms. Fennenbach, and the second is where they're making the decision, and I believe they're the last 2 items of that night. So you can always just fast forward to.
Because sometimes they're not the most enjoyable things to listen to.
That's fair assessment, yeah. Yeah, but I believe they were the last 2 items
All right,
on the
excellent.
agenda that night. It was a September meeting, so, my guess is even if there's one, I think it's still important for the community to know who this person is. And don't think that changes your format perhaps, but I do think if there's an opportunity, it's important that the community know who's going to represent them. And this is an important role and job. And I think one or 50 applicants, people should know who's representing them. And who's going to be overseeing.
If there's 50 applicants, that's gonna be almost impossible to.
I just really doubt it, it's gonna be 50, but.
That would be
So,
incredibly
yeah.
tough. You'd have to
Yeah.
do it over 4 nights and,
Right.
or
we
just
to
have a
break them into
marathon.
chunks,
Yeah.
For sure, but I highly doubt we're gonna get 50 applicants, unfortunately, even when it's an election, maybe we have 4. I think the most, this seat, usually this one in Franklin had the most, but even this last time, I think we had seats with 3 or 4 people running candidates. So I really think it's, well, again, what Ms. Carrasco explained to me is that people wait till the last minute, just so that they avoid the public scrutiny as much as possible till the last minute. And then they make their name public, so she said, it's not unusual for that to happen. I will leave you my card as well. You have my phone number and email.
Yes.
Cell is definitely the easiest way to catch me, or my email, but I'm rarely in my office.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
And thank you again for coming to meet with us. I'm glad that we have some clarity as far as the forum.
Yeah, anytime, just, anytime you need us, if there's any questions that come up or the ideas you have. And you'll see from their meeting, they really were very, very excited at the possibility of having you guys with us. That really kind of was a priority to them, to have you or your group moderate some type of forum or panel discussion for the applicants. Even when they made the decision not to go election, even with the appointment, they still wanted that form of transparency and community engagement. So this is a great way to do it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
So you said money was no object?
We usually say-
Did everyone hear that, guys?
They did not include that in their board discussion at all, so, but we can afford some. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sorry again, but I was
Thank you so much.
I don't know how you guys get out of here. You guys just wait till like 8 o'clock at night and then you guys leave.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. That was kind of great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Britton.
Thank you. I don't think it's the first time you've been in this room.
Not,
It's so interesting. I was like,
but it is like every time I come, there's something new. So, all right, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.